You've just thrown a pokeball at a wild mon but missed and hit your childhood friend in the face. However, they're suddenly enveloped in a red light and sucked into the ball, and you're panicking because pokeballs aren't designed to catch humans. Oh, my... I whispered to myself. I could only watch as a red light, envelop it my childhood friend, Joey, and drag at him inside the spherical shell. It began to shake, rattle, and slowly strobe. I prayed for the ball to open when the golden light turned green and the ding of a bell sent my mind to hell. I dropped to my knees and the startled, speaking Caterpie wormed away into the bushes. My jaw fell agape as I tried to process what had just happened. Suddenly, I scrambled to recover the Pokeball and seized it with a quaking hand. I looked at it as if I held the dagger I used to murder him. How could this happen? People can't go inside of a Pokeball. But what I had just witnessed stated otherwise. What would happen to me? What had happened to him? Would I be arrested? Was he dead? These thoughts and millions more rushed in and out of my head. Gradually, I pushed my hand to point the button away from me, and I pressed it. Out flew that same red beam of light. I anxiously watched it draw the silhouette of a person, and then scatter to reveal Joey. I stared at him. He stared at me back. An expression of horror was molded onto his face by the untold trauma that he had felt. I reached out. "Dude, are you okay?" I asked, waiting for a response. "I don't know," he replied, reassuring me that his mind hadn't devolved into some Freudian horror. This isn't supposed to happen. When we finally recollected ourselves, we discussed and theorized. Reluctantly, at one point, he tried it on me to see if I would enter the ball. Nothing happened. No light. We could only arrive at a dreadful conclusion. Joey was a Pokemon. We left the forest and returned to Pallet Town. We trekked up the hill to Professor Oak's laboratory to present our findings to him. When we showed him our discovery, his eyes widened. Expecting him to slave over theories like us, he stood there as if he'd been pinned for murder. "Well, I guess you're old enough," he mumbled in some sort of defeat. The pair of us, Joey and I, looked at each other. "What do you mean?" Joey said in confrontation. "Joey, your parents came to me 20 years ago. They had tried for years to have a child, but they just couldn't. They begged me for a son. I told them it was impossible, that they should go to a doctor, but they came across a government project that I had once worked on while on holiday to Cinnabar Island, a cloning project that's been behind closed doors for decades." What did the professor mean? What did this have to do with Joey? Government projects? Cloning? The dark truth soon revealed itself. They offered me everything, told me that they would expose the whole scandal if I didn't help them. I had no choice. It took years, but I combined the DNA of an ancient Pokemon and a human. It was a breakthrough in science, a breakthrough that couldn't be shared with anyone but ourselves. Joey, you are the holy grail of genetic science. You are part human, part Mew.